What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And I want to talk about this situation that's going on with Nico Harrison, right? Now, everybody knows that Nico Harrison made this big trade for he traded Anthony Davis and got traded for Anthony Davis and let Luca go. And everybody was like, right away they was criticizing him, like, man, that's just a crazy trade. Luca just had us. Luca had just taken us to the conference finals and stuff like that the year before, and now all of a sudden you getting rid of Luca. And what they did is they put some things there out there about Luca, like Luca's not dedicated to the game, as far as like taking care of his health and stuff like that, right? Now, I think though and there's more to it. Like for instance, if you just trade Luca for Anthony Davis, then yeah, if that was just a straight up trade for that, then I think, yep, yeah, Nico needs to be fired, right? Like if Nico was the one who said, yeah, I want to get rid of Luca and just go ahead and bring Anthony Davis in. But I don't believe that was the full deal. I think that it was set up so they can get this kid Cooper Flag. And so if that's the case, right? If it was set up so they can get Cooper Flag along with Anthony Davis, everybody knows that Cooper was going to go number one. Um, and I don't think that was a coincidence that Dallas was, that the Mavericks was able to get Cooper. So why now, is everybody upset that Anthony Davis is out? He's injured, and that's what Anthony Davis do. He get injured, he get hurt. Nobody, even when this trade was first made, nobody expected Anthony Davis to turn a new leaf and all of a sudden start playing 80 games a season. That wasn't going to happen for Anthony Davis. So that's why they had to make it so that this team got Cooper Flag. Now, nobody expected Luca to turn a new leaf and dedicate itself to taking care of to getting in shape during the off season. That also hurt this trade. Now you got Luca in LA. I think the Lakers are 8-3, 8 wins, 3 losses. The Lakers they just killing right now. Like I said, 8-3. Luca is in the best shape of his life. He's seeing like he's motivated. So that don't make Nico Harrison look good. But also, like I said, I just think that I don't think that they should really be trying to get rid of Nico, because this wasn't it wasn't a Nico thing all the way. And part of the deal was for them to get Cooper Flag, the number one, right? Anthony Davis, I don't know how much, like who wanted Anthony Davis knowing that, he just stayed injured. I don't think if they didn't have an opportunity to get Cooper Flag, they would have even made this trade. So this makes me think that there's something else going on here besides what's meet the eye. I think that people are saying that this kid Cooper Flag looked like he the real deal, and they are going to get. I think first they're going to get Nico Harrison out of there. Then I think they're going to get Jason Kidd out of there too. So they're going to have a new general manager, and they're going to have a new coach. I think both of those guys are going to be gone. And then it's almost going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be the same situation with like the Golden State Warriors. And Mark Jackson pretty much built, the Golden State Warrior with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. And then just as they about to turn the corner, then you bring in, a different coach, and you let him take over from there. They might have felt like Mark Jackson had gotten them as far as he could get them. Now we need Steve Kerr. And I think the Mavericks are on their way doing the same thing. I think Nico Harrison, I think they're kind of like pulling the rug up from under him. He probably thought that they were all in on it. His job was safe as long as they get Cooper Flag. Because if you think about it, the Mavericks pretty much, I think the Mavericks look good. They look like a solid team to me with Cooper Flag. Even if Anthony Davis is out, I think they have enough talent around Cooper Flag, whereas though he can still develop and they can still challenge for like the playoffs and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that management sees this too, or ownership sees this too, and they are ready to move on for Nico, and they're going to make Nico the fall guy for this trade when it probably wasn't just all his idea. I don't think because I mean the trade the trade, in my opinion, just was a ridiculous trade. Even though Luka is somebody who wasn't, who didn't really take care of himself, um, like they would have liked. But you got to think, Luka was when they made that trade. I think Luka was only like 25 years old. So even at 25, if you don't take care of your body, it's not like you're going to be out of the league by the time you're 30. I mean, he's still when you're young, you can get away with a lot of the stuff that you do. And a great ball player too, like Luka at 25. I'm sure that Luka, even though he may not have been taking care of himself the way they wanted him to, he probably at least would have been in the league, into his 30s. So because I can't believe honestly that they would have just traded Luka straight up for Anthony Davis, who's older, more injury prone. What Charles Barkley called what do he call them, street clothes or something like that? Because every time you see him, he like sitting at the end of the bench, in his street clothes. So yeah, I can't believe that you know that they would have did this trade straight up for Anthony Davis for Luka had they not known that they was going to get this number one draft choice, right? And now that this kid number one draft choice and he's panning out, he's looking good. He looking like he could be the future for them. Now, will he be as good as Luka? I don't know. That's the $1,000,000 question. I don't know. Right now, I don't know, man. I don't think he's gonna be as good as Luka. He off to a really good start, and in my opinion, Cooper Flag probably will. Like he may even be Rookie of the Year. But will he be as good as Luka? That still remains to be seen. Personally, I don't think so. Like I said, he's off to a good start. Um, but the best ability too, also you have to consider the best ability is availability, right? So as long as Cooper Flag he takes care of himself, and he continue to get better, then yeah, he may be able to catch Luka, as far as like playing ability. The thing I do like about Cooper Flag though is he don't fall in love with the three, and that's what I really like about Cooper Flag because Cooper has like a mid range game. He can even play with his back to the basket. He can slash, he slash and fill the lanes and stuff on a fast break. So you know he get some things that Cooper brings to the table that Luca don't, and if you get the right pieces around Cooper Flag, I think that the Mavericks can definitely, be, and challenge for they can challenge for a championship, in a few years. Now I'm not saying like this year. I said with a couple more pieces, they can definitely challenge for a championship because that dude Cooper Flag is just he's so versatile. He just can do so many things, right? And which makes him so much harder to stop. His defense probably can get a little bit better, but defense is about effort. He got the size and he has the length to be able to be a good defensive player, and he has pretty good quick lateral movement, so he'll be a pretty good defensive player too. So, but yeah, that's what I want to say about this right here, I just think that they set this guy up, man, Nico Harrison, to be the fall guy. They're going to get Nico out of there. They're going to bring somebody else in there. And the Dallas Mavericks probably going to try to be like the Golden State Warriors, man, and just put somebody in there who they're comfortable with, being a general manager and a coach. I don't think Jason Kidd is going to be there too much longer either. So with that being said, man, y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.